Welcome to your daily dose of the DeFi world news. I'm your host, that crypto guy. Today, with all the volatility, August 16th, 2025, we're going to talk about something that I do not think is talked about enough in crypto. Um, Especially with the people, I would say, that are newcomers that don't understand what a market cycle is, but what is a market cycle? Now, there's market cycles in, stock markets, there's market cycles in the crypto market. Okay. So basically, to give you, a quick, easy rundown of what this is okay. It's pretty much the ebb and flow of the market, of how it goes up and down. It's the roller coaster ride of the market. That's pretty much the easiest layman's terms to put it for people that really don't understand, what market cycles are. But you can look into this as well. If you go and Google, it'll explain it to you a little bit. But pretty much, and I'm going to explain to you why this is very important in a time like now, especially in this current market. So pretty much the way it is you have your accumulation phase. Now, an accumulation phase is when smart investors, people, the crypto millionaires and billionaires, the people who really got the big money, they start quietly buying at the bottom. Okay, they're accumulating, getting ready for, things to kick in. Okay. Then what happens is, after that, you'll see a markup phase where the market starts to go up. So the markup phase, other serious investors will jump in. They'll start throwing their money in. Okay. And then after that, obviously what happens is you have the euphoria phase. That's where people start freaking out. FOMO kicks in. All you're hearing about is crypto. Everybody's buying. Nobody's selling. We're running it all the way up. Okay. Then after that, what'll happen is that's when the smart money will start to sell off a little bit. Okay. Because you'll get what will happen is it'll start to slow down a little bit. You'll notice that the smart money's getting out. That's usually when you'll start seeing the lower cap markets, coins start to run. But and then obviously after that, you'll have complete, market liquidation. It'll go all the way down to the bottom. Cycle repeats itself. Okay. People start accumulating right back down at that bottom again. And that'll start the new cycle, and it'll repeat itself. But here's what's different is this market is not replicating any type of normal cycle. Okay. Because based off of the way an actual market cycle goes, where would we be at in that phase? Okay. We're definitely not in euphoria, because the euphoria did not even last long enough when Bitcoin hit its all-time high. We should have technically, what should have happened was Bitcoin should have triggered Ethereum, and they should have rode up really high real quick. So we should have technically, after that run started, it should have continued up. Okay. Because otherwise, we should usually see around October is when you'll start seeing, the smarter investors start to sell off. You won't see it in August. August is the run up. But pretty much what I'm saying is these types of steps are all over the place. This cycle is all mixed around. So that signifies to me one of two things. Okay. In my opinion, it's a crash coming, or it's going to be a super insane run up. Now, the reason why I know there's not going to be a crash, I want to be in the market. I called the crash back in 21 in April, and it happened in May. I called the whole thing. I said the whole market's going to get nuked after what happened with Doge. So, and it did. And that's on my other podcast. People can look that up. So I've called a whole market crashes before within a month. So what I'm telling you is this is not a market crash. I don't believe it's a market crash. The reason being is there's way too much regulation. There's institutions involved now. Nobody's calling Bitcoin crap anymore. All these big institutions that people were calling it crap, nobody's talking shit no more. Now they're all bullish. So what it says to me is this is not your typical bull cycle, or, typical cycle at all, because what's happening is it's not running down or running in certain phases. What's happening is they're continuing to manipulate it, because I think this cycle, they want it to be more of an institutional cycle. The institutions want your money. Okay. And then, like, for example, I'm all for the XRP hype and everything that's going on with XRP, but I just believe you should have got in at a cheaper price. Buying in now, I mean, some people want a 2-3x. I'm looking for a little bit more than a 2 or 3x on a coin. I'm looking for at the new XRPs that are coming. So with that said, that's what I'm saying is you have to understand what a cycle is and understand that this is not your typical cycle. Something is definitely going on that I see to be a huge run up for the entire crypto market going forward. So this cycle is going to redefine future cycles, and I can already see it happening.